ProPublica did a fantastic investigation into the pharmaceutical industry, and they uncovered a new trick that they're using. So let me go ahead and break it down for you here. They explain, as it readies for battle with President Trump over drug prices, the pharmaceutical industry is deploying economists and healthcare experts from the nation's top universities. In scholarly articles, blogs, and conferences, they lend their prestige to the lobbying blitz without always disclosing their corporate ties. The professors at Precision Health Economics have taken it to the next level, sharpening the conflicts between their scholarly and commercial roles, which they don't always disclose. Their activities illustrate the growing influence of academics for hire in shaping the national debate on issues from climate change to antitrust policy, which ultimately affect the quality of life and the household budgets of ordinary Americans, including what they pay for critical medications. The pharmaceutical industry is digging in, with one of its trade groups raising an additional $100 million for its war chest. Okay, so what they're uncovering here is amazing. They're saying the pharmaceutical industry is spending $100 million on academics for hire. And what they do is they get economists, they get healthcare experts, and they get all these academics to come out there and say, oh, no, you silly, peasants don't understand that the pharmaceutical company has to charge you $1,000 a day for this life-saving medication that you need. And sure, other countries may give the same medication for $50 a day, but you don't understand about all the research and development and the creation of the product and what goes into it, and that even with the $1,000 a day, there's still a small profit margin that they're making, blah, 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 blah. So this is the same kind of nonsense that was used when you had the tobacco industry. They had academics for hire as well who would come out there and say, yeah, do cigarettes cause cancer? Maybe, but I think it needs more study, and I think we need to understand that nothing is conclusive yet, and believe me, I have a degree. So those people were recycled, and they're now used for what? The climate change debate. And the same people go out there and say, well, look, this needs more study because maybe the increase in temperature and the climate changing is part of a natural process or from sunspots, and maybe it's not due to fossil fuels that we're burning endlessly, which increases the greenhouse effect and makes it so that the temperature fluctuates, and then that leads to more natural disasters, and that leads to famine and drought and all these things. Maybe there's no connection to climate change. I don't understand why climate change. I have a degree. Shut the fuck up. So the same fucking people that were used for the tobacco industry are now used for the oil companies and are now being used for big pharma as well to try to convince you that you need to get price gouged, and you should be happy that big pharma is price gouging you for your medication that you need to survive. And again, the example they give in the article is $1,000 a day. These new pills for this new treatment for different ailments, and they go up to $1,000 a day in the U.S. And again, you compare them to other countries, other modern nations, it's nowhere near that. So they're price gouging you, and now academics are hired to try to convince you that it's a just, noble thing. And they say things like, look, it would even be worth it if it was $2,000 a day, but they're only charging you $1,000 a day. These aren't real academics. They're hacks. They're corrupt sellouts. And I hope none of them can fucking sleep at night because they're soulless. And by the way, they mentioned here at the beginning of the article, well, we're readying for battle with President Trump over drug prices. So this is why we're getting the $100 million. No. President Trump has already been convinced. I'm not kidding when I say it took one conversation with a smooth-talking lobbyist. Maybe they had an academic for hire with them. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. But Trump went into the meeting having repeatedly said, the drug companies are getting away with murder. They're getting away with murder, and we're gonna negotiate for the prices for Medicare. Remember, that's Bernie Sanders was on that page and fought for that. Bernie Sanders wanted to import the drugs from Canada so we get them much cheaper, and it's the same drugs. And Trump had given multiple comments saying, we're going to make them negotiate. I make deals. That's what I do. I'm going to negotiate for cheaper drugs. One meeting with the pharmaceutical industry, he came out and said, you know what we're going to do? We're not going to negotiate for the prices because, Medicare is robbing the drug companies, and the drug companies need the money for research and development. It took like one bullshit argument from Big Pharma and Trump folded. It's so pathetic, man. So that's where we are. In the same way, you have to be skeptical of ExxonMobil-funded fake scientists who push junk science. You also have to be skeptical of pharma-funded, so-called experts, whether they're economists or doctors or whatever, because they're going to try to convince you to be happy with getting screwed over. Don't buy it.